Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Physics Surgery. Today we are going to look at a simple yet tricky problem on relative motion. This is brought to my notice by one of my students, so I would like to share it with you. So it's a concept associated with one-dimensional relative motion, which is one of the first topics that the students of kinematics would be learning. Okay, so without much further ado, let me present to you the formal wording of the question. A line of soldiers of length 600 meters marches along a road with a constant velocity of 4.5 kmph. In the same direction of the line but opposite orientation, an officer approaches the walking soldier's line with a constant velocity of 3 kmph, and when he passes by each soldier he orders him to move in the opposite direction. So imagine there is a officer who is walking in the leftward direction on the screen, and he taps on this fellow's shoulder and immediately this fellow turns back, right? So he does that by walking in the opposite direction at 3 kmph. Every soldier immediately, as soon as he receives the order, reverses the direction of their march and continue with the same velocity but in the opposite direction. After some time, the whole line, which was of the original length of 600 meter, moves in the opposite direction. So the question is very simple. Once the whole line reverses, what is the new length of the line of the soldiers? Okay, so try to give it a chance, right? So pause the video here, and then after a fair try to go ahead with the solution I'm going to provide. So here's the solution. So there are actually more than one ways of solving this particular problem, right? I'm going to use the analogy of Doppler effect. Not that it is going to be a superior method or something, but this is a problem that if students don't know anything about Doppler effect of sound, would easily solve it using one-dimensional kinematics. I'm not against that particular method, but this presents us a very beautiful opportunity to visualize what actually happens in Doppler effect, especially in a case where sound reflects off a moving wall, we could see, right? So just to present the analogy, let me show you how I changed that situation presented in the original problem into a sound wave opportunity. Okay, so this is the diagram that I have taken to represent that problem by taking the wall as the officer who is moving towards left of your screen with a speed u, which I'll substitute at the end as 3 kmph, and the sound pulses which are moving towards right, I have taken compression pulses. You could take any equal phase points. Okay, so I have chosen compression pulses which are separated by certain distance. So this gap between each and every soldier, I'm representing it with the wavelength of that sound which is going to be incident on this wall. Now the C of the pulses is the velocity of the soldier. So this is the initial idea before reflection. Now what actually happens, you all know, is once this compression pulse gets reflected and it stays as compression pulse, the reflected pulse also travels with the same speed as C, but by the time the next reflection takes place, the distance between these two reduces because this wall is actually moving towards left. So it is definite that after some time all the pulses get reflected. The gap, as you could see, this is the picture after reflection. The gap between successive pulses which are now moving towards left, let me mark that so that you get an idea. So in the lower diagram, I am claiming that the velocity of these pulses would be in the leftward direction. So this is what the claim is all about, and the gap has reduced. So if I can find the ratio of this lambda f and lambda I, then that would be sure enough to give me the required value of the final length, because number of soldiers are conserved. That means the total length 600 can be represented as the capital N times of lambda I, and the final length can be represented as same capital N multiplied by lambda f. So it now boils down to just finding the ratio of lambda f to lambda I. So the first idea of Doppler effect, the frequency of the sound received by this officer or wall, I can simply write the Doppler effect formula, which is C plus velocity of detector. You could see the officer is the detector, divided by C, and there is no source which is moving here. So C plus U by C into the original frequency is the frequency received. One very important thing in reflection problems is whatever is the frequency received would be the frequency detected. It's obvious because the pulses are neither created nor destroyed. So for everything that it receives, immediately it turns back. So the frequency with which the pulses are going out in this problem would be simply, just visualize this very carefully, The sound is moving out with c, and now the wall becomes the source is moving towards left with speed u. Therefore the gap between successive things is in 1 second going to be c minus u, and therefore the frequency is simply that gap divided by the final lambda f. What I claimed already is that these two expressions should be equal to each other. So therefore I've equated them and found the value of lambda f in this manner, just equating the RHS of these two. So that boils down to a simple relation that what is C by F in white? That C by F is the original lambda, right? In this, C by F would be the original lambda. So that provides me with the required solution. So this would be the lambda I. So the value of lambda f and lambda I are related to the n number of soldiers. So the final line that you have, or the final length of the soldiers, would be simply equal to 4.5 minus 3 divided by 4.5 plus 3 multiplied by that 600 that I was talking out, right? So which gives you the answer of 120 meter. So again, so this was a beautiful way of visualizing what actually happens in sound, and we have taken that by taking up a problem on the marching of the soldiers. Okay, so I hope you could visualize what I saw in this particular problem, and we'll try to do the same. There are some problems I would try to present maybe in the next series of relative motion videos, in which actually visualizing using Doppler effect would give you a wrong answer. So you should also know when to use and when not to use this particular method that I just now provided. So we'll do that in the next video on relative motion. Till then, take care and goodbye.